Yeah, this is Jack Raspers out here in the Blackberry country, the great Olympic Northwest, Olympic Mountains. Got a question from a guy that wants to know what the purpose of life was. Well, the first thing, if you're wondering about that, then you got way too much time on your hands. Typically, people are actively, normally performing in a day-to-day basis for the basic needs of family, employment, or for basic sustenance, food and clothing. And that's the primary purposes of sustaining life. So the purpose of life is to sustain life. But when you get past that, then there's a creative, imaginative, or a higher level of responsibility in the community or within your family, or a higher level of production of needs and supervision and such. So, I mean, you can think of it at different levels. It depends on what direction you're coming from. I talked to one guy that was all-knowing. I just gave him a call, and frankly, he said that the purpose of life is just to live it. So basically, the things that are around you, the potential things to do, and the things that are necessary, that's what it is. So as much as you can invent or uninvent or rest or get active, that's what life is all about. Now, whether what choices or priorities are in life, what's important, I'm sure you can make a list of important things and then go down and figure out if you're in a position of responsibility that you're going to have to take on those requirements, obligations. Some people are looking for like a peaceful way of life, a limited amount of responsibility, and peace and harmony, and the heart and the soul and the mind, and there isn't a whole lot that they can be obligated to do, except for to maintain those things. But if you start looking at society as a whole and a global picture, and we're talking about life again on this planet, it gets to be a bigger picture. And therefore, there's going to be different responsibilities and, of course, different awareness. Like if we're polluting the earth, some people don't know they're doing that. I mean, they've got on the ground and they don't pick it up. And that it might be biodegradable, go back to the earth, but in a bigger cause, if everybody's doing that, it could contaminate the earth. I mean, there's some stories here on the wharf on the beach area here in the canal, where the native Indians, they used to eat the clams, and they would use the clam shells, and they just pile up a big pile of clam shells. There's remnants of a bunch of clam shells, but there's lots of clams. There's a limited amount of people and not a lot of pollution, and so they pile up some clams. I mean, that looks normal. It's like a pile of wood. It's like a pile of driftwood that just got blew in or something, or just stones. But when you get all these man-made products, plastics and stuff like that, it's foreign to the natural world. And in some cases, the places where it's all penned up and built up, you can tell that it's not natural, and also you take a look at it and it contaminates, it kills the fish and such and such. Anyway, we're way off subject, but you got to go off these tangents in order to be able to define it, the purpose of anything. The purpose of anything. So, Jack Raspers, continuation of purpose. If you do something on purpose, you intentionally set forth to do something that is purposeful, like I say, intentionally, or have proposed to do so, or you made it a function or a goal to do. That's on purpose. Now, to be purposeful means the same thing, basically, as to be intentional and having reason in what you do, being intentional, motivated for a purpose. Now, so that's just the verb purpose, the noun purpose, such and such. But people have been saying, what is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of that? Well, if you look at this wheelbarrow over here, I got a lot of country implements here, but just like right here, there's a wheelbarrow. what is the purpose of a wheelbarrow? Well, primarily is to carry materials or substances, either dirt or manure or wood or gravel. I mean, you can go on and on. Anything that you guys, that's a material you can put in a wheelbarrow. That's the purpose of a wheelbarrow. Now you can say, well, what's the purpose of a wheelbarrow? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of a wheelbarrow is. So you go around and ask people, what's the purpose of a wheelbarrow? And they'll go, well, I just don't know. I mean, who are these people that are asking what the purpose of something is? Except for those that don't know. So, let's just think of this. What is the purpose of a man? Everything he does. Everything he does and everything you can think of. I mean, does it have to be specifically something? Well, then pick it. The purpose of a man is to walk down a road with the proper posture. And, are you talking about the long, greatest goal of a man to do? Then you're going to have to figure out what is the highest thing to aspire to. And that's develop a full knowledge, experience, and personality that has all the qualities, potential qualities that the brain can develop and the character can develop. And then you can say, well, where are we going to get that? Well, it's potentially naturally capable of doing that by your environment around you. But then there's also higher knowledge that comes with more than years of experience. You got one-liners that come from people that had to suffer many years or had to educate themselves or experiment for a long time on different things. And you can just take that as an ideal. And so there you go again. Purpose is a reason. Purpose is what you deem necessary. So it's really pretty simple. I mean, if it's writing a book, the purpose of the book is to get a message out. The purpose of the subject is to get that out. And the nature of the subject, if you're trying to help mankind or study birds, I just saw a nice good sized bird go by. Looks like he was an osprey, a hawk, or an eagle. Usually is higher and a little bit bigger. So anyway, don't think too long about that. Just get going and busy. Just get going on your own purpose. And if you want to know the basics, make sure you get enough water and food and sleep and maintain a good emotional constitution that you can help other people. You're here as a mechanism, and you better do something with it. I'm not saying you have to. You can actually hang out with people and just kind of enjoy and socialize and such. And I'm sure that's part of life, and it can be a large portion of it when you're on vacation or if you're trying to live a balanced life. I mean, a certain percentage of it could have been a large part of the day, depends on what you're functioning. So I'm going to have to get moving here. So let's get back to you. This is Jack Raspers, subject of purpose.